Hi kids, I wanted to give you a quick video overview of how to do your Absolute Monarchy web. Remember, the point here is to learn about each of these different kingdoms and how Absolute Monarchy played out in these places. So notice, by the way, first off, you're going to start off in the middle here, Absolute Monarchs, so you'll write that out. You'll draw your little circle or box around it. You'll make a line. Now notice it says define. So you're going to define absolute monarchs here. What does that mean? I gave it to you in notes yesterday, by the way. It's also in the reading. What is divine right to rule? So you would draw off of that the definition for divine right of rule. I did put a little symbol here for an absolute monarch. It's actually for France's absolute monarch, Louis XIV. So you feel free to add in some visuals for us. The more visual you can make your web, the more it's going to stick in your head and you're going to learn it. Remember, that's what we're doing here, kids. We're programming your computer. Your brain is your computer. So let me show you what this might look like in practice. So let's say I drew out my absolute monarchs. I'm going to pick France just because I did some of that information with you yesterday. I wrote out France. I drew a circle. I chose to do green here in this case, by the way, for France. So the next thing I would do is I would identify an example of their absolute monarch, in this case, Louis XIV. So I put Louis XIV up there. I'm going to make it fit there, Louis XIV. Now you're handwriting this out. Handwrite out your information first before you draw it into your web. That way it will fit. So I'm going to choose a little circle here. And again, you're going to hand draw your circle. It'll be a lot more straightforward than this. I'm going to make my circle green because that's the color I chose for France, just sort of randomly. And then I'm going to connect it back to France because Louis is the absolute monarch of France. Now remember, ultimately you should be able to read these like a sentence. Louis XIV was the ruler of France, and he was an absolute monarch. See how I did that? You should be able to make all of your circles that connect into a sentence that makes a true statement. So again, you're going to be doing this on your 11 by 17 paper. Please leave that here in class because, yes, it's difficult to replace that, and you don't want to have to start all over again. So please leave that with me before you leave. Okay, but I think this should be enough to get you started on how to do the web. Please ask questions if you're unsure of how to do anything. Big tip is write your words first and then draw the circles and lines afterwards. All right, kids, don't forget to use that Absolutism Ed puzzle. Yes, you have an Ed puzzle. Yes, that Absolutism Ed puzzle has good information in it too. All right, kids, good luck webbing.